Hello everyone. So today in this video we are going to solve a question of LeetCode, that is spiral matrix 2. This is 59 question on LeetCode and this comes under medium category. Alright, so let's start with a problem statement. Given a positive integer k, generate an n into n matrix filled with elements from 1 to n square in spiral order. So basically in this question we have given a value of n and we need to arrange the elements in n into n matrix such that the elements are in increasing spiral order, and or we can say the elements are arranged in the increasing clockwise order. Alright, so as in the first example it is given n equal to 3. So for n equal to 3, we will form a matrix of 3 into 3 dimensions, and the elements will be ranging from 1 to 3 square, or we can say 1 to 9, and they are arranged in such a way that it forms a clockwise increasing, like clockwise ascending order cycle here. Alright, so this is pretty easy question. Just we need to do a matrix simulation here. So let's quickly code it up and we will understand in each step what we need to do here is. So let's first declare a vector of vector is basically a 2D vector of n into n size. So let's name it answer, which will be returning at the end, and the size is n into m, and initialize all the values with 0 initially. So vector int and 0, and now let's take few elements here. Int r is equal to 0, or we can say r1 equal to 0, r2 is equal to n minus 1. Let's take two more for column, and c1 will be equal to 0 and c2 will be equal to n minus 1. Alright, so now let's run a while loop to add elements into our vector. So r1 should be less than equal to r2 and c1 is less than equal to c2. Alright, now what we need to do is, let me just draw something here. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to fill, let's try to fill the elements of first row. This is 1, 2 and 3. So let's just fill these three elements here. Okay, so let's write a for loop for this. So for int I is equal to, so we will be starting from, like, row will be constant here and this column will change. So I will be ranging from column 1 to column ending the. So c1 I will be equal to c1, 2 I should be less than equal to c2. That will be initially c1 is 0 and c2 is n minus 1. So this index will range from 0 to n minus 1 and I plus plus. Now let's update in answer vector. So answer I will remain constant. Okay, so row will remain constant, and so we will write r1 and column will change according to I. And let's update value here. So let's initialize a variable int value. This will be initially, the initial value is 1, like we need to start from 1, so let's initialize it with 1. Alright, so now what we have done, we have already done a for loop for adding this row here. So 1, 2 and 3 we have already entered into our vector. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to add these two elements here. I hope you are able to understand this. So let's write a for loop for this. So for int I equal to, now what we need to do is we need to change the row in each iteration. So it will just start from r2, or we can say r1 plus 1. Okay, why we are taking r1 plus 1? Because for r1 we have already filled with 3, so we will be starting from r1 plus 1. Okay, and I should be less than equal to r2 and I plus plus. Now let's update in our answer. I will change, or we can say row will change, so I will be here and the column will remain constant. So this is the rightmost column, so rightmost column will be C2. And let's update the value here. Alright, now let's check if R1 is less than R2 and C1 is less than C2. Okay, so now we have filled this 4 and 5. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to fill 6, 7 and 8. We are just targeting the first cycle here, and this while loop will automatically fill all the remaining cycle. So let's try to write for loop for this 6, 7 and 8. So let's write a for loop for adding this 6 into our vector. Alright, so let's run a for loop here for int I equal to. Okay, so what we are changing is the r will remain constant because this is the ending row, and column will change. So how column will change? Like this is the rightmost column C2, so we have already filled this column, so this I will start from C2 minus 1. I hope you are able to understand this. This will start from C2 minus 1 and this will range till C1, and we will just decrement. Okay, now let's update answer. This row will remain constant, so this row is R2 and column will change, and let's update to value plus plus, and let's run a for loop int I is equal to, like we have already filled this 6 with this for loop. Now what we need to do is we need to fill this 7 and 8 here. Okay, so let's write a for loop for this. So int I is equal to, now what we are doing is we are changing the row here. The column will remain constant, we are just changing the row. So I will be equal to R2 and this will range till I is greater than R1. We are taking I is greater than R1 because we have already filled this R1. Alright, so we are just stopping it before R1 and I is decremented here, and let's update answer. This row is changing here, so I, and this column will be C1. Alright, C1 and value plus plus. I hope this is fine. Now let's update, increment and decrement the values of R1, R2, C1 and C2, because once the first cycle is completed, this will shrink, and like if the size is more than 3, so there might be the possibility that there are more cycles inside. So let's just increment R1, decrement R2, increment C1 and decrement C2. I hope this is fine. Let's just return answer from here. Okay, let's clear it out. Yeah, let's try to run it. Yeah, it's working fine. Let's just submit it. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. So let's calculate the time and space complexity of our solution. So the time complexity of our solution is big O of n square because we are traversing through all the n square elements, and space complexity is big O of 1 because we are using constant spaces here. So I hope the approach and solution is clear to you. If you still have any doubt in this question, feel free to comment it down. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.